Hey, Tiny Tea Prepper here. I'm making some JuJube, either sauce or jelly. I haven't decided which. What I'm doing here, I got some here where I'm taking the seeds out. They have a pit, kind of like a cherry in them. And some of these I'm going to do with the seeds in. It's a little bit easier to clean. Now, seeds are not easy to get out. So I picked these green. That's the way we like to eat them. They tasted good that way. I don't really, they say wait till they get red and soft, but they're kind of, to me, a little bit overripe. So we kind of like them green. We've been eating them that way. But they're starting to get ripe now, so I'm going to process these, and I'm thinking I'll probably make jelly, because jelly tend to boil down, and then you'll strain out all the pits and skins and stuff that don't go through to make a clear jelly. So anyway, I'm going to finish cleaning these, and then I'll come back when I get ready to can these and start from there. Okay, Tiny Tea back here. I'm making, I decided with the JuJube to make jelly out of it, and the reason I decided on that was that getting the pits out was a little bit more time consuming and harder than what I thought it'd be. I kind of thought maybe I'd just boil them whole. I decided, well, I think I'll go against that. I'd read about some others that just cut off the sides, so I went ahead and did that. I cut off the sides, but doing that, it kind of looked like I might have got little parts of the seeds in there, and if I make apples, well, like an applesauce out of the JuJube sauce, I was kind of afraid that some of that seed, parts of seeds might be in there, and when I make the jelly, I strain that through a cheesecloth so any of those particles would get out of there. So I opted, even though I kind of wanted to make sauce out of it, that like an applesauce out of it, that I'd probably go with the jelly just to make sure there wasn't any of those parts in there. They do talk about that cherry pitters, which I don't have one, would take the seed out, but this JuJube that I have, the fruit on it, did not turn red like a lot of them that I've seen on the internet that I was reading about, so it just turned kind of brown and rotten when it got ripe. Well, I think this one's ripe when it's green, not ripe when it's when it turns that kind of brown soft. So anyway, I got it here and it's starting to boil, and I'm going to boil this and get the juice off of it. And I'm just following the recipe, like it, you know, it tastes a lot like an apple, so I'm following an apple jelly recipe that I use when I make apple jelly. So hopefully it turns out real good, and we'll see how it tastes when everything's all said and done here. Okay, just wanted to show you what I did here. I was going to do this as apple jelly, but I think we could go ahead and do the JuJube butter or jam that they call it. It's kind of like apple butter, but it's basically a jam. And what I did here is I cooked this for a while now, probably 30-45 minutes, something like that. And then I wasn't sure just how well it was doing, and I got this stick blender and put it in here in just a few minutes. It really made that nice puree here that you see. So I may go ahead and run that through a strainer, but I'm kind of doubting it. It looks like it's pretty good there. I might do that just to make sure I don't have any big chunks of JuJube in there, but that'd probably be it. I may make one batch of this into the applesauce or the JuJube sauce, and make the other one into the jam and jelly. So for this one, I might just add a little cinnamon and sugar and can it up, and try the other one with the jam and jelly. So that way I can try a little bit of both and compare how they are. So I'm back to what I was going to do before. It worked out a lot better than I thought. I don't think there's any pits or seeds in there. I was pretty careful when I was cleaning these and throwing away stuff I didn't think was stuff that would cook up. So I kind of like the skins, because usually the skins on fruit have the most vitamins and stuff in them, and they're supposed to be high in vitamin C. So I'll finish blending this up, and I'll probably go ahead and add a little bit of sugar and stuff in here, and I'll put the recipe what I do add to it. I put a little lemon juice in already, and put a half a lemon in each one of these, but the lemons I use are large lemons, so probably be a lemon for each one of these. It's probably about a gallon, I think, mixture in each one of these, maybe a little bit more in this bigger pot here, but I just kind of go by estimates and taste. I always taste everything to see how much I need to add of stuff. So don't have a lot of measurements. I'll probably give you approximate amounts of sugar. I'll try and make sure I measure how much sugar I put in to get that. But just looking at the pan here, you know, it's a 6-7 inch high pan, and probably about half full, so I'd estimate about a gallon there, and probably about a gallon in that one, maybe just a little bit less in this other pan, but pretty close. Okay, just show you what I got done up here to now. And I got the jars washed. I just washed those over here in hot water, sterilized with Clorox, just clean the sinks up good. Leave the lids in the hot water there to soak and keep them soft till I get ready to put them on the tops. And got the jars over here that I washed upside down on the cloth. And I got my ingredients here that I'm going to use to mix up in, and I got my stick mixer over there to blend in the ingredients to the stuff that I'm cooking here, the JuJube pulp and stuff. I mixed all the skins and everything up in there and blended real well. I kind of badmouthed that stick blender when I was doing the apples, saying it couldn't do chunks, but I just don't think I cooked my apples long enough. They mixed up real well once I got them heated up. I probably cooked the JuJubes on boil for about 15 minutes to a half hour, and then let them simmer for another half hour, and then mixed them up the blender over there, that stick blender, and did a pretty good job with it. Don't see any chunks in there. Just waiting now for my water here in my hot water bath to get heated up to boiling. When you can these, you do need to can them. I'm going to can them like you do apples. They say 15 minutes for pint jars and 20 minutes for quart jars. I always go ahead a little bit longer. I like to be safe, so I'll go 20 minutes on these jars. And the ingredients I'm going to add to these, I already added in some lemon juice to the mixture here, and then I got cloves, ground nutmeg, ground cinnamon, and white vinegar. Going to put in a cup of white vinegar. That's for about 2 gallons of the mixture I have over there. And then I got cinnamon. It'll be 4 teaspoons of cinnamon, 2 teaspoons of ground nutmeg, and 1 teaspoon of ground clove is what I'm going to be putting in there. And kind of do that to taste. Got sugar I'm going to add in there also. It's supposed to be, for 2 gallons, supposed to be 20 cups, but I don't have that much sugar, so I'm going to put as much as I think it needs for taste in there, maybe a little bit less. I know jellies and jams require quite a bit, and we'll see how that goes with what I got there. And so we'll stop there for now, and I do want to, I'll come back and do a review on that stick blender later and give a little bit better review now that I've used it more than once, and let you know how I like that.